So I hear this all the time that people are like, oh, you shouldn't have a carry rotation, or you should carry the same gun, this, that, and the third, muscle memory and all this stuff. And to me, it doesn't make any sense. But then again, this is different for everybody. People are different. People do things differently. People have things set up differently. For me, I believe that you can have a carry rotation. I think that if you have it set up the right way, it works. So the argument that people like to fall back on is training and muscle memory, and you're gonna fall back on training and this, that, and the third. For the right person, that's not gonna be a problem. As a matter of fact, let's just say most people, the average person is going to the range like once a month, if that. That's being very generous. So if the average person is going to the range once a month, most people are not tinkering with their guns and all that. They're either carrying it on them person, and when they get home, they put it in the safe or they put it up. So, and then that same average person is the one saying that you should only be carrying one gun for training and this, that, and the third. It doesn't work that way. I've been to the range with people that they only mess with their guns when they went to the range, and they went to the range once or twice a month. So for me, I'm always messing with my guns. I'm always tinkering my guns. I'm on a call, I'm messing with my guns. See, I work from home, so I have the luxury. But I'm on a call with a client, I'm tinkering my guns. I'm at home, I'm constantly messing and tweaking with my guns, press checking, dry firing, constantly, all the time, with all my guns. Now, as far as my process in particular, so what I like to do is I like to have a every Sunday I'll sit down and I'll think about the week, and I'll set up my EDC for the week. So for example, this can be a setup. For example, it's not always 6 guns, 10 guns. Sometimes it's just two, sometimes it's just three. See, right now I'm using that as an example. So this week, I've been carrying the Echelon, the TP9 Elite Subcompact, and then my 43X. Now, it's not always, full size compact, subcompact. Sometimes I'm carrying two, I have two full size in my rotation. Sometimes it's sweaty as hell, it's summertime, and I have all subcompact guns. It really depends on the situation, what I'm doing that week, etc. Now, what I do is I have a big safe that, keep most of my things in, and then I have a little safe in the office that I keep my carry rotation guns in. So the guns that are in those safes, I tinker with them all week. So I'm always press checking, I'm always messing with them. I keep the safe open when I'm in the office, constantly messing with them, constantly dry firing. So it's the muscle memory is there. Like I can pick up any of my guns, pick them up blindfolded, press check, unload, do all the drills and all that because I'm constantly doing it. Not because I'm just, a Navy SEAL training and all that. No, it's just because I'm in the guns. It's what I like. So I'm really good at guns. So it's the same thing with like skateboarders, BMX guys, people that are doing this stuff every day and they're putting to work. You can see it. You can see how they ride. You can see how good they are based on the time that they're putting in. So no, the average person shouldn't have a carry rotation. You should only have the one, and get familiarized with the weapon that you have, and go from there. Now, again, for me, I like to put my personality into guns. I like to be able to switch out the guns depending on my mood, depending on the weather and all that. And it keeps me well rounded as far as like knowledge, and keeping that knowledge in my hand, keeping that training, and being able to use multiple guns whenever I need to. And it works. A lot of us are like that. Somebody is watching this video right now. You're exactly like me. You like to tinker. You're constantly messing with your guns, and you're capable of doing this EDC stuff and changing out your guns every day. The average person, you should do it, and that's okay. I feel like I'll see a lot of big YouTubers, gun tubers say stuff like, you shouldn't do it, this, that, and the third. But then they have audiences of 800,000, a million plus subscribers. Yeah, you have to say stuff like that because the average person doesn't know any better. The average person doesn't know any better. Most people don't know any better. They'll listen to whatever it is somebody's saying, and so they have to put out these blanket statements so that they can cover themselves, because the average person watching their video doesn't know. They don't know what to do. They need direction. They need to be told what to do. They're not where some of us are. So you just have to know your limitations, and and go from there. But in my opinion, a lot of these big gun tubers will say not to have a carry rotation, but they have a carry rotation themselves because they know exactly what I'm talking about. So And it's so crazy because in the gun community, we just go back and forth on the weirdest things, like love callings, love making fun of people for having save queens, but then when you also make fun of someone that's trying to have a rotation and constantly use different guns and be proficient at different guns, and you put them down, and it's like it's crazy to me. So again, in my opinion, if you're constantly tweaking, messing with your guns, you're proficient, you can pick up a gun, you can clear, you can do whatever, you're really good at the gun that you're looking to put into your EDC rotation, you will be fine. When it comes time to use your gun, you'll be fine because you're gonna be able to know how to manipulate the weapon, you're gonna know what you're doing. It's the people that don't mess with their guns, it's the people that shoot once a month. Like, I would bet that the person that shoots once a month and they're messing with their guns every day shoots and is more comfortable, shoots better and is more comfortable than the person that shoots once a week, but they only shoot at the range and then they put their guns back in their safe and then that's it. So it's a big difference. And you can usually tell when somebody doesn't mess with their guns and all that. And yeah, it can be dangerous. But yeah, so in my opinion, I think that if you are set up the right way, you have the right equipment, you know what you're doing, you're perfectly kind of fine having a rotation. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not in Call of Duty. Most defensive shooting situations are very quick and happen at very short distances. We're not, again, this is not Call of Duty. It's not the movies. So yes, you should be shooting often. Yes, you should be training and all that. But as long as you feel comfortable, as long as you are confident in yourself and in your training and what you're doing, you'll be fine. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. So for me, I keep a rotation. It changes every week as it gets cooler and colder, and we're wearing coats and hoodies. I like to carry full size guns, so I'll have more full size guns in my rotation. But sometimes I'm going somewhere where I'm just have a sweatpants on, and so I'll probably have one subcon cap or something like that, that's very light, that's very easy to conceal. But it really just depends on the week. And I play enough with a lot of my guns that if I need to switch out my weekly setup for something, last minute, I can do that too. There are guns that I have that I don't add to my carry rotation because it would make no sense. I don't use them enough and I don't play with it enough to be able to feel comfortable enough carrying it. And that's okay. You have to know yourself, know your training, and rely on that. So, and again, this is all common sense. This is stuff that's common sense, and I feel as though that we should be enforcing more common sense these days. Like, if you're not proficient with certain guns, don't carry it. If you're proficient, you know what you're doing. You do drills. You're constantly dry firing. You know that you know your trigger. You know your slide. You know what you need to do. You'll be fine. So yeah, that's just what I think. You let me know what you think in the comments. Do you have a EDC rotation? Do you do a rotation or whatever? And if you do, how do you do it? And yeah, I would love to hear, everybody else's thoughts and comments on that. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.